up to another good morning. Time to go. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for...
Welcome back to the 3x5 Life
podcast.
Yes, nailed it.
Thank you.
So, one thought in 3 to 5 minutes. That's our kind of platform here. So what are we talking about today?
So today we thought that we would dive into what does it mean to live a 3x5 life, which is a conversation and a question that Bryan and I have asked ourselves a lot during this process of creating the 3x5 Life product. And when we created the cards, we definitely did not want that to just be the end of what we were imagining or producing. We didn't want it to be just the product. We also wanted to create this lifestyle and idea, and the design process behind that was to create a community where we could discuss and talk about all of these things that we find to be super helpful, but that you guys we can learn from you as well. So for us, zooming out and thinking about what does it mean to live a 3x5 life, it really starts with those decisions you make every single day.
Yes. Yeah. And a person who is living a 3x5 life, they're striving to create their version of a masterpiece day. Mm-hmm. And when you can create a masterpiece day, then organically you just create masterpiece weeks. And then that should lead to a life of significance. And we all want a meaningful life. So what does Masterpiece Day look like to you, Jessie? Or what are some major aspects of a Masterpiece Day?
Yeah, and I love that you said your version, because I think it's so important to recognize that life is all about experimentation and finding out what works best for you. And that is going to depend on what your schedule is like, what's happening in your life at that moment. So just because you create the Masterpiece Day, I like to think of masterpieces as always like a work in progress. If you figure it out and then you need to go back and reflect and do some work on it, that's okay. And then you get to create another masterpiece. But I think it does really start with what we like to call our AM and PM bookends. I usually tell my grad students, I'm really the only two pieces of a day that we have complete control of are the mornings, how we start our day, and then our PM bookend, which is how we end our day. And I think a lot of times we're really great with that AM bookend, but that PM bookend, we don't recognize the significance and importance of setting yourself up for a good night's sleep, so that's really where that morning routine starts. And so with those two pieces in place, hold on to those, keep those sacred, because what happens in between, in the middle of your day, who knows, right? You're running by, the seat of your pants. A lot of times it's not by your design, it's by somebody else's agenda or somebody else's idea of what your day should look like, because you're answering to kids or you're answering to, other colleagues or work situations. And so when you can hold on to those bookends, think about what a bookend is. It keeps everything else steady and in place, and it sets you up for the best day you possibly could have.
Right. And then it also goes back to, at the end of the day, reflecting. If today was awesome, what aspects, what threads can I pull on? Did I get a good night's sleep? Did I work out in the morning instead of in the evening? So that just, gave me energy throughout the day. So really thinking about what little different areas of your life created that Masterpiece Day. And like Jessie said, that's going to change over time, because you're going to learn something new, or you're going to tweak your diet or what have you, your little habits. Mm-hmm. And then your Masterpiece Day may change over time.
But I love that reflection piece is so important, because I think sometimes we go into default mode and we just do what we've always done without really recognizing the significance of why we make those choices. Yeah. So just even recently, for years, I've been using the Calm app. For almost 10 years now, I feel like. And they're 10-minute meditations, and I found that my mornings have become a little bit more hectic and unpredictable a little bit. And so I just switched up in the last couple of weeks by doing a 5-minute meditation instead of that 10-minute meditation. And maybe this is just a season, a couple weeks where I needed that, but it got me back to that place where I had that time to meditate. It felt a little bit more doable for me. And then it just was a little tweak that I made that made a huge difference. So I love that idea of making it a day that is right for you in that season of whatever you're going through.
Yeah. So reflect on that. Think about what your Masterpiece Day looks like. Maybe journal on it, or even outline a perfect day. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to happen every day, but when you can start compounding those, you're going to see results. Absolutely. So what are we going to talk about next week?
I think we're really going to hone in on those PM bookends.
Yes. We'll break it down.
We will. We'll break it down and do tell you kind of some of the practices that we've figured out that work for us. It may look a little different depending if you're Bri or myself. And then maybe talking about some ideas for you that are backed by research and some science and a lot of stuff that we've read. And
yeah. So hope you enjoyed the podcast. Tune in next week and make it a fantastic week.
Absolutely. Take care.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning. Time to go.